everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Motorsport Manager with none other than the Phoenix Knights Racing Team. It's a new season. It's going to be our best season yet, no doubt, and I am really looking forward to it. I have not been excited about a season in Motorsport Manager as much as I have about this one. I know we're not going to win the title this season, but I do believe that we're going to be in for a really action-packed fight with Kitano and Panther for third place, and that excites me. It's about that three-way fight, that close fight that I think it's going to be. I hope it's going to be. It's going to be a development race. Who can develop their car in season the best and the quickest to keep ahead of the rivalry, to keep ahead of your rivals? So yeah. Now I've been umming and ahhing about how I want to record this season. Do I want to do the whole 16 races? Perhaps not. But I was considering a 4-race highlight package. So I'm still up in the air about it. But what I've decided to do is I've decided to race the first race of the season as normal. Just to judge what's going on in terms of the performance levels and how close it's going to be. And the more close it is, then the more races I will actually record this season, because I'm sure, you want to see some close racing as well, and this battle for third place, and skipping and glossing over that, I think would be a tragedy, considering that we've been down in the doldrums for the past few seasons here. So yeah, first race of the season we shall record as normal, see where we are, and then I will use that performance to judge just how I want to play this season. If it is a close fight, then perhaps what I'll do is I'll do one race and then skip two, and then do one race and then skip two. And when I say skip, I mean sort of like, really condensed highlights, just to give you a taste rather than just talking about what happened. Anyway, this is actually a standalone video. This is not going to be any racing here. This is just to explain what I propose to do going forward, which is not determined yet, but it's also to meet the teams, because we have some interesting stuff going on, and I thought, well, we might as well take a closer look at our rivals and some of the other runners and riders as well, just to get a better handle on what exactly is going on this season. So first of all, I'll take you through our cars. Don't remember if I did this in any great detail in the last session, but yeah, we are the 4th best on the grid. We have the best suspension and rear wing. How long that will last, I don't know, because we're not going to be developing these this season at all. So these may slip down eventually. We are developing at the moment our engine, the most important part when it comes to gaining time. So that is the early goal for the first half of this season: complete and utter engine development. Then we're going to switch to our gearbox, sort of maybe halfway through the season. We already have the 3rd best gearbox on the grid. A little bit of extra work from the team, we can push that up to be the best, I'm sure we can. And then if we get any time at the very, very back end of the season, we'll just pad out our brakes that little bit further. So that, fingers crossed, by next season we'll have a car that has very good engine, very good gearbox, very good suspension, very good rear wing, decent brakes, and a crappy front wing. I will see exactly where that puts us next season. That's a long way away in the future, but that is the development plan to keep you in the loop. Alright. So let's meet the team, shall we? Let's see who are the runners and riders for this season. And we will go in order of the cars rather than alphabetical order. So first of all, we have got Scuderia Rossini, who have overtaken Steinman as the best team on the grid, as we saw last season. Now, we also saw in the last session they made a rather genius transfer. They replaced one of their drivers. I can't remember who it was called, it was that insignificant, but they replaced their second string driver with a damn good one. Lipponen. Look at those stats. Put this man in this car and I think the championship is pretty much already sewn up. If Lipponen doesn't win this title, I would absolutely be shocked. I'd eat my hat telling you now, put it down on paper, folks. If Lipponen does not win this title, you will see me on a video update eating a hat, okay? Balcazar, the reigning champion, she proved that she's good enough to win it already, so a very strong team, hence why they have the best driver lineup on the grid. They're going to be the team to beat. Staff, not too bad. Decent designer. Chassis, look at that. A chassis that only teams can dream of. That's Scuderia Rossini. The second best car on the grid now, but not by much. It's Steinman. Multiple constructor champions, but they are just being knocked off their perch, hence why their chairman is not happy. The principal's job security is uneasy. They're going to have to pull it around this season, otherwise heads may just roll. They've got Becker and Engelhardt. Engelhardt is a new addition, I believe. He was not there. I think it was Fischer last season. Fischer appears to have been demoted to reserve driver after a poor conclusion to the season. If you remember, Fischer, she was struggling. She was in 6th position. We were passing her. That was the final straw. She was demoted, and Engelhardt has come in as their second choice driver in an attempt to topple Scuderia Rossini. Will it be enough? I don't think so, but you never know. We'll see how things pan out. Decent staff as well. So then we move on to the third best team, who may well not be at the end of this season. It is Panther. They are sticking with their 38-year-old Harry Chapman and Sylvander. They've been partners for a long time now. Their cars, you can see, quite a drop. What can we say about Panther other than the fact that they appear to be slipping behind in the development race, and I think we can see why that's happening, because their headquarters is just not good enough. It's the second worst on the grid, and therefore they probably don't have the buildings to develop those parts quick enough to keep pace with the other team's developments, and that's what's holding them back. It is this, in addition to the fact that they're sticking with a really old decrepit driver now. It's not really helping their cause. But yeah, this is the reason why they're slipping behind in development, and this is why I think they are ripe for the picking. They are at their most vulnerable this season, with Gaetano and Phoenix Knights gnashing at their heels. Now, speaking of Gaetano, here they are, down as the... No, let's forget that. It's Phoenix Knights. 4th best car on the grid. It's us. 2nd best driver lineup. It's Cruz and Surikov, with Surikov having something to prove this season. Can he raise his game? Let's certainly hope so. Same staff that we've had for some time, sticking with them. We are a team that has been forged from many seasons ago, and we like continuity. Decent headquarters, great staff, great pit crew, struggling with sponsors, but hey ho, we've got by. And we've done well with the budget that we've got. Let's see, let's hope it's a good one. Okay, so Gaetano, these have been our arch rivals for the past 2 seasons. We've been really trying to surpass them on the track. We haven't managed to do it yet, but this is a season where it could all go right for Phoenix Knights. Rick de Graaf, we have know about him. He is a timesheet hero, the supreme qualifier, and he's not bad on the racetrack during the race day either. And de Wolf, a good second wing, second in command, good wingman, just making sure that things tick over nicely for the team, picking up those points wherever possible when de Graaf slips up. Yeah, but if you look at Panther's position on the bar. Where are they? If you look at Panther on the bar, they're about there. We're dropping significantly. We'll say significantly, but there's quite a chunk of a drop there between us and Panther. So maybe it might not be... I don't know. It's going to be interesting. They're there. We're there. And then Gaetano are only a little tiny smidgen behind us. So maybe Panther might still be able to get third. But it's going to be certainly tighter than it has been. But anyway, here's Gaetano. Good drivers, very good drivers, as we've seen. Their car, for the first time, is slipped out of the top 4. They know they've got a close race on their hands with Phoenix Knights. Their staff are pretty useless, but they've got a good headquarters. And this is why I think that they are getting closer and closer to Panther is because, unlike Panther with the rubbish headquarters, these guys' headquarters is conducive to developing decent parts, so they are more efficient at developing their car during the season. And that is really the only teams we have to worry about. We may just bump into Windsor 1 or 2 times this season. Lundqvist and Fox. Fox replacing Lipponen, of course. I went to Scuderia Rossini. I think Lundqvist is new as well. I think Lundqvist is new as well. I don't think it was Lundqvist before. It was Lipponen and Veracruz, wasn't it? Unless I don't know, maybe I've just I can't. It was. Is this changed as well? Have they changed their? No, I don't think so. Their livery? I don't think so. Anyway, getting confused. So it's Lundqvist and Fox, an all-female lineup, and to be fair, their drivers aren't that bad. They are okay. I say that 7th on the grid, but they seem to be steady away. But they were slipping further behind us and Catano last season. Will that slide continue? Only time will tell. After them, there's Rosato Corsa. Let's look at their drivers. D'Osto and Flores, they've been together for some time. Their car is below average on the grid. We certainly don't expect to be mixing it up with these guys this season, more so than ever. And Van Dort, their sort of cars beginning to slip even more into the mire. And then you've got the newly promoted Esprit, Navarro and Mukiev. And then finally you have Thornton, who by the skin of their teeth just happen to stay up every season, mainly because of Zoe Sharp, driver supremo. Johns Dottier is new. It was Ollie Clark-Smith last season. Johns Dottier has come in to replace him, who is now the reserve driver. So a few changes to the lineups, nothing major. Certainly a change of the order of the cars. So all in all, I think it's going to be a good season. Let's just hope that we get the upper hand. Okay, let's do it. It's Doha. It's time to race. I did say that this is going to be just the meet the team. However, I can't wait any longer. I am going to football in 30 minutes, which means I really don't have much time to blither on. So I won't. We're going to dive in. See you in qualifying. It's 17 laps. It's a long race. It's medium tyre wear, and we've got the hardest compound tyres. And for the first time, we're going to try and see if we can get 6th or above. It's the first race of the season. There's going to be people retiring, people not pushing their cars, and this is the best opportunity we get to make that 6th or above. See you in qualifying. Practice is done, and here are the results. It means nothing, but rather frighteningly, Lipponen is well ahead of the rest. What did I tell you? Ominous signs. But we'll get a better judge of the situation in qualifying. And here it is. It's going to be a dry session. Are you ever going to get rain in this place? I doubt it. So we shall simulate the session and keep our fingers crossed. We didn't get to maximise the qualifying trim. The track is just too long. And Surikov kicked off at the end of last season. He kicked off royally. He felt that he was being, shall we say, done over. His partner had super overtake mode. He didn't. Super overtake mode is banned. Potter has put his foot down. There is no super overtake button for Cruz this season. He's giving both drivers a level playing field. The mind games have already commenced. Here we go. Right, yes, that's exactly what we expected to happen there. We expected with our newly improved vehicle, apparently 4th best on the grid, to be in with a shout of reaching qualifying into the top 6. 11th and 12th. I am flabbergasted with that. I really am. What on earth has gone wrong? On the plus side, Surikov has out-qualified Cruz. I'm trying to think, have I done something wrong? I'm thinking that the issue is the engine. I really am thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that even though we have the best on paper, we have at the fourth best car because of the other parts that are really good. I think because our engine is behind, I think that's really hampering us. And maybe this is a high engine circuit. Engine is down as a crucial part, I think, on this one. That could... No, it's not actually. Gearbox. That gearbox is semi-decent. Low speed corners are down as crucial. Low speed corners are down as crucial. So our poor front wing is probably hampering us on this specific track. Because low speed corners is so important, our front wing is rubbish. That's probably why we're struggling. It's a high downforce circuit. Engine is also useful. So combine the two of those parts together that make a big difference on this track. That's where I think we've lost a lot of time today. Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. So I think it's going to be a race like last season in real Formula 1 where certain cars perform better on different tracks, and we're not going to be very good on high downforce circuits. We're going to be good where it's fast sweeping circuits where we can make use of our rear wing and, you know, so interesting. So we have to not only focus on a sort of a standard race by race, expect to finish in the same grid position and qualifying every time, but it's going to be dependent on what circuit we're on. That is actually really interesting. Something that I've never really noticed in this game before now. And that's only because I thought we had a car good enough to get in the top 6, and looking more closely into it, I've deciphered why we haven't got anywhere near that on this particular track. Right, okay, car setup then. It's 17 laps. We're looking at 2 7, 8, 5, 6s, 2 6s and a 5, right? So 2 6s and a 5. Cruz. Surikov gets the preferential treatment today for a change. He's stepping up to the plate this season. Soft tyres should do across the board. So 2 6s and a 5. Surikov is going to do a... He's going to do his 5 first, I think. Light fuel him, bring him in a little bit earlier, try and get some clear air. So 5 laps on the first stint for Surikov. And for Cruz, we will have the full tank of fuel and he will come in and do the 6. And then we shall play it by ear after that. So let's get into the race and let's have a look at the first grid of the season. It's Lipponen on pole, it's Balcazar in second, it's a front row lockout for Scuderia Rossini. He didn't qualify quite so far ahead as Balcazar as I thought he might. Third and fourth for Steinman, Becker and Engelhardt. Fifth for Panther, Sylvander, with De Graaf in 6th, Chapman in 7th and De Wolf in 8th. 9th is Windsor, still showing that they are not out of it just yet, with Rosato Corsa in 10th, Flores. And then the disappointing Phoenix Knights. The press said that in practice, in their pre-season testing, they look really strong, really solid, and they have disappointed. Were the other team sandbagging? Maybe so. Right, we are ready to go. The lights are on. It's the first race of the season. And we're off and racing. And Surikov got off to a very slow start. And Cruz has gone shooting off. He's already up into... We've got a very slow travelling Steinman. Very slow travelling Steinman there. Dropping several places like a stone. Cruz is up into 8th and Surikov is in 10th. It's semi-mild. It's quite warm. Perhaps we'll have a better race than qualifying, and don't forget the other vehicles may have issues with their cars, so we don't want to push too hard. We do want to ensure that we last this without having to repair our car, so we'll push for the first lap, then we'll turn it down and just wait for the other cars to fall like flies. Here we go. But 7th and 10th, it's not bad. We've still got plenty of opportunity to pass in the race, and it's going to be a fairly long one. So we'll put the poor qualifying behind us and hopefully our drivers can ensure that they don't lose their heads and don't get frustrated. The car is good. Just trust in it and drive it well. I'm liking the pace we're showing with Cruz at the moment. Sirikov's still there as well, but Cruz is looking pretty pacey. As we're just going to turn down the tyres now. So the heating of the tyres could be a problem. So turn the engines now down to high. Here we go. Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Surikov battling with the Risotto Corsa. He's up the inside, not a problem. Up into 9th position. He's got a Kitano in front of him. It is the Kitano of De Wolf. And he's looking pretty racy. He's looking like he wants to pass. Come on, Surikov. You qualified better than your teammate. He's been, you know, we've taken super overtake mode off him for qualifying. We're giving you every opportunity here to get back on terms in the performance front. So don't let us down. Cruz in 6th. Struggling to make an indentation on Sylvander. He's got Lundqvist behind him. The new addition to the Windsor Racing team. And it looks like Surikov is a little bit miffed off. He's unhappy he can't pass De Wolf. Stop talking about it and just concentrate. That's all you can do. Okay, so we're showing good pace here. We're showing good pace. I'm wondering if we should just conserve our car now. Focus on the long term, and we'll push it towards the end of the stint. Just focus on the long term. Just remember, other cars may start to have issues with theirs, so we just need to play a patient game. We may lose a bit of pace whilst we're not pushing, but it'll benefit us in the long run. I'm sure it will. Surikov now all over the back of Sylvander. Sylvander is conserving his tyres even. I don't think tyre wear is going to be a massive issue. Obviously the temperatures are going into the red zone, but we should still be fine. So now it's Cruz that's got De Wolf battling him. We are conserving at the moment. We are conserving. But he's still managing to keep him behind, so that's good. A good defensive drive here from Cruz. Just losing touch with Sylvander, but as I said, it's just a temporary measure. Just a temporary measure whilst we ensure that our car parts survive this race. We've got Becker driving. He's down into 9th. Don't know what happened to him at the start, but he just lost a load of places. Surikov has dropped to 12th. Surikov is going to be on his last lap, the next lap. So what we're going to do with him now is we're going to give him all the pushing now. He's coming in lap 5, so a lap and a half now of maximum power. See what he can do with it. And already he's up into 11th. And on this straight he'll probably pass the Risotto Corsa with the extra power there. And yes, he does. He's up into 10th. We're going to pit him. We're going to put him on a fresh set of boots. We're going to give him 6 laps. And then we're going to send him out. Just going to put Cruz up to push now. He's just beginning to form a train behind him, so we're just going to now give him a little tad of engine mode. Come on, Surikov. Come on. Come on. He's finding it hard to pass here. Finding it very hard to pass on this twisty circuit. Cruz. Now it's his turn to shine. We're going to give him the full power for a lap and a half. Still hasn't passed, has he? Look at that. Anyway, Cruz is going. He's pitting next lap. We're going to have to give him another 6 lap stint not to clash with Surikov's strategy. So Surikov is in the pits. The pit crew are as fresh as they're ever going to be. No excuses. So Cruz now using his power. He is pulling away from the Wolf. He is gaining on Sylvander. Come on, there we go. Look at the... When we give them the beans, they've got decent pace. So another facet of this season is going to be strategy. Using the car, using the pushing modes effectively. And trying to gain an upper hand at certain points in the race. Undercuts and stuff like that. Putting the power down when you've got clear traffic. That is all going to play a factor in this season. So you got... Oh, we got fire! We have literally a car on fire here. Look at that. I have never seen that in this game before. Has there been a recent... I wonder if there's been a patch release very, very recently. I'm going to have to check that. Has there been a patch release in the past couple of days? Because I've never in my life seen a fire. Never. That is insane. Right, we're out. We're out of there. We're out of there, boys and girls. We're out of there, and we are racing once again. Well, that's Lipponen's race over. The favourite for the championship is off to a nightmare start, and I better start looking for a hat, I think, to eat on a video update. I'm just going to keep both cars on high and neutral tyres for the time being. We'll kind of see where we are when everybody does their pit stops. See where we shake up. But we are not yet at the halfway stage, so we've just got to factor that into our condition. And seeing as we've seen what's just happened to Lipponen on fire, we don't want to run the risk of ending up in the same boat. I know we're called Phoenix Knights Racing and we are supposed to rise from the ashes, but let's not have that be too literal. We're up into fourth. With one Panther, one Scuderia Rossini, one Steinman ahead of us. We've got Becker over the back of us. Are we expecting one of those guys to suffer a problem? Maybe. Are we expected to suffer a problem? Hopefully not. That Steinman is wanting to get past, but this is a track that appears to be notoriously difficult to pass on. But he's found a way past, but now Cruz has the inside for this section, but he couldn't do anything about it. Well done, Becker. But I'm pleased to see the pace that we have here, because we are living with them to some degree. Right, we're just going to do the same again now, just for a couple of laps, just to conserve. A lot of people behind us are pushing, but we just worry about our own race. Worry about our own race. Worry about our own pace. So need to get sucked into trying to cover off other cars and trying to see what they're going to do, and pushing when you shouldn't be pushing and taking too many risks. That's when you come a cropper. So just focus on your own strategy to some degree, and just get around the track as quickly as you can, whilst maintaining a good park condition. And is it just me, or is Surikov slightly gaining on Cruz? Surikov has the bit between his teeth. He's probably screaming for Potter to allow him to turn the engine up. He can see his teammate. He's gaining on him. He's obviously in the zone. He's tuned in, although you wouldn't see it from his form. And he wants more power. And Potter's saying, not just yet. Not just yet. Just keep going. Just keep going. We shall tell you when it's time to turn up the beeps. But he is definitely gaining, isn't he? 2.4. It is. You can see it. You can see it happening before your very eyes. 2.3. He has to do 2 more laps, doesn't he? He's not got an excess of fuel here. He doesn't have an excess of fuel, so we can't really actually afford to push at all, even if we wanted to. And then neither has Cruz. Right, Engelhardt has pitted and he's come out and he's still ahead of us, so we're not gonna. Looks like getting a top 3 place is going to be a little bit too much to ask. Balcazar has pitted also. She's come out and she's now pushing. So I'm thinking maybe around about 6th, 5th and 6th could be a potential. If all goes well. Yeah, Surikov is going to... yeah, he can't really push at all. Got to do 1 more lap. Just enough fuel. Anyway, last... So Cruz is going to have a splash and dash. So Cruz will have a splash and a dash for his last stint. I suppose the only plus point here today, given our poor performance relatively speaking, is we're outscoring Catano. So that's good. We're outscoring Windsor. We're not outscoring Panther just yet, but the ultimate goal, if anything, is to certainly beat Catano. That is the ultimate goal. Beating Panther would be a massive, massive bonus, but Catano must fall. That is a certainty. We should have pushed his tyres on this in-lap. We didn't push his tyres at all, so there's a time lost there, unfortunately. We won't make the same mistake, though, with Cruz, giving him the full push on the tyres. Splash and dash for you, my friend. His brakes are actually beginning to show signs of wear. Not enough to cause concern. A mistake with the tyre, but it doesn't matter. Still fueling at that point. We're just gonna give him a quick outlap. And a little bit of push on the tyres as well, perhaps. And you can afford a little bit of pushing. He had a tiny, tiny smidgen of excess fuel. Come on, Cruz. I mean, I want Surikov to do better this season. I really do. But it's all about the points. And if Cruz is up there, then Cruz is up there. Nothing we can do about it. Push, 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 push. There we go. He's in the pits. Let's see what happens here now. Here we go. Come on. The jacks are down. The tyres are on. The fuel is going in. No mistakes. A very smooth pit stop. Silky smooth indeed. And there's Surikov, some way behind. He's in 8th position. There are a couple of cars ahead of him that need to pit, so he is technically in 6th. So as I said, I was thinking 5th and 6th possibly, but Cruz will be in 4th, so perhaps it's even higher than that. Unless any other cars have issues. Becker? No problems. Balcazar? No problems. Engelhardt? No problems. Chapman, who's coming up behind us? No problems. Yeah. Front wing looking a tiny bit worse for wear, and he's complaining about brakes and whatever else. Yeah, it's fine. Just keep driving. Just keep driving. Surikov is in 6th. He's got De Wolf behind him. Should manage to keep ahead. There are 3 laps to go. I'm going to just turn the speed up now. I'm supposed to be going to football in like 2 minutes time, and I need to get changed. I could well be late, but I'm going to see this through. Cruz is just kind of in a no man's land right now. There's no point of pushing the car if we can help it, so we're going to turn it down. Surikov does have to fend off the charging De Wolf, so he can't afford to turn it down. Do not want to be outdone by a Kitano at this point. Okay, so we've given him some saving. He does actually have a Panther behind him, so he has to be a little bit careful. Can't afford too much just to turn things off. In fact, that Panther is just beginning to eke up, so we'll just turn up now like that for both cars. Surikov is in 6th. I think 4th and 6th is where we're going to finish. No, you're fine. You've only got to do one more lap. You are perfectly A-OK. A-OK. Last lap of the race here. Last lap of the race. Cruz is in cruise control mode. Just seeing this car home. Both cars have comfortable gaps to the vehicles behind them. So as we come around now, to be quite honest with you, we've reached our sponsor objectives with both cars. We've outscored Panther, I think, when all is said and done. We've outperformed the dastardly Kitano. So apart from qualifying, this has been a successful race. 4th and 6th. And Balcazar wins for Scuderia Rossini, with Lipponen out in a ball of fire. Would you credit that? Would you credit that? They will not be happy bunnies at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly check out the constructors table just to see how that panned out there in terms of our points. Look at that. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. It's a good start. 20 points, Panther 14, Kitano in 7. Ho 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 ho, a good start to the season. Right, what I propose to do is I propose to play the next 2 races. I'll record them. I won't commentate on them, I'll just record them. And I will condense the 2 races into a highlights package as planned, but only for 2 races. I'll do the after commentary, give you a highlights reel, and we'll see where we are at the end of race 3, and I'll probably record race number 4 as a full session. But it's going to be a good season. I thought it might be, but we do have some work to do because our front wing, I thought, well, it's not going to hamper us that much. Apparently, on high downforce circuits, it might just do. Join me next time. See you soon.